How surprised were you to hear that you were mentioned as a preferred candidate to be the next head coach of the Washington Redskins?
I'm not worried about that, to be quite honest with you. You were the first person to mention it to me in a public setting. So,
what was your reaction in a private setting?
About the same I'm giving you. You know, guys, I'm the head coach of a 1-4 football team that's going on the road to play a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback with my third quarterback. You think I'm worried about anything this week other than that?
That's Mike Tomlin, coach of the Steelers, on his Tuesday press conference. And Chris, look, it's significant for what he said and for what he didn't say, because this is a big deal. When you have a guy who's the coach of a team and he's under contract beyond this year, being asked about possibly coaching another team, you would expect a little more. What are you talking about? This is my job. I've been here since 2007. I am not leaving here. This is where I am. Instead, he just kind of sidestepped it like it was just some trivial matter. It's not a trivial matter. It speaks to the heart of whether or not he's going to be the coach of the team after this season. And I expected him to go a little bit farther with it, to slam the door on the possibility, and he didn't, which tells me the door isn't slammed.
What? Are you crazy? Were you listening? He said he's going on the road with a third-string quarterback against a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's not paying attention to it. He's telling you he's got bigger issues. So,
Chris, but
what?
This is a bigger issue. This is a far bigger issue than that.
Okay.
It goes to the heart of his job. I have a job. I love my job. I've been here for 13 seasons now. I'm not going anywhere until they tell me to. That's the kind of answer that I would expect. And look, he knew that it was coming. He said, you're the first person who's asked me that question in a public setting. So he knew that it was out there. He had a chance to think about what his answer was going to be. And I don't think these guys who deal with the press all the time just blurt things out without having a plan. I think everything that every coach says is, or at least should be, calculated. And when he doesn't say, that's a ridiculous question. I'm the coach of the Steelers, and I'm going to continue to be the coach of the Steelers, and I'm not coaching any other team. This is my team. That surprised me that he didn't go that far.
Well, I mean, I feel like he basically said that, though. So, and then the other thing, too, is we're predicating this all on dots being connected because Bruce Allen was in Tampa and Mike Tomlin was down there in Tampa as I was there at that same time, too. And we're not.
That's how it works, though.
Well, yeah.
That's how it works.
And I think we're all sitting here going, well, Bruce Allen's, his butt is hotter than any butt in America right now. So are we just going to assume he'll be there?
No. Yes, because we came to the conclusion over the past couple of days while you were doing something else that Bruce Allen is the surrogate owner in Washington.
Oh,
He's the guy
so you came to the conclusion. So we'll just assume everything then and just go down the road. Okay.
Chris, if he's still employed now after going 42-75 over the last 10 years, what makes you think anything's going to change it over the balance of the season?
Because
he's still there.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm
and
just saying after the season, and that's when the talks about Mike Tomlin will come about. And then Mike Tomlin just told you he's worried about what he's got to do this week. So I think we're making a lot out of nothing at this point. I understand people connecting the dots, but I thought he slammed the door shut with what he said. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he did. And I think that Bruce Allen's presence or absence from Washington doesn't change whether or not Daniel Snyder would be interested in Mike Tomlin. I think the fact that there's a prior relationship between the two guys makes it easier to sell Tomlin on Allen still being there. I think Allen's the impediment to getting an A-list coach. And I think if Tomlin would be gone from Pittsburgh after this year, if they go 2-14 or something like that, and everybody decides it's time for a change, I think there'll be another team out there that Mike Tomlin would rather go coach than Washington because of all the dysfunction in the organization, unless he can convince himself that he's the one who can fix it.
No, I don't disagree with that statement at all. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I think that, yes, if it comes down to Mike Tomlin being fired there in Pittsburgh, that there will be teams that are interested in him, and that I would think, those other teams are more appealing to him as well. Now, the other factor is he is from that D.C., Virginia area, so I understand people connecting the dots there, too, because that's
a pretty big dot.
Right. Well, okay. But nothing he said is leaving you to believe, like you're trying to make something out of what he said.
Chris,
and he said he's a 1-4.
Chris, he's never going to say I'm interested. He's never going to say anything to suggest he's interested.
But you're trying to assume he's saying something else.
No, I'm telling you, if you're think of how Bill Belichick would handle a question like
Stop
that. It's a
comparing
ridiculous
people
question.
to Bill Belichick.
I have a job.
Stop. Nobody
have a
does what
job.
Bill Belichick does. Nobody.
We'll be right back.
Look at my lips. Nobody.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.